Hello and welcome to Princess Diana's news channel. Hello my friends. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Then I came across another tabloid article about this creepy couple. This comes to us from the National Enquirer magazine and the headline is, Harry and Meghan, Clooney's slugger. So, of course, I had to read it. Harry and Meghan are so desperate to ingratiate themselves with the Hollywood powers that be, but every time they fall to the ground. I mean, first of all, they went out of their way to be friends with Oprah. It seems that relationship has fizzled out. Who else is on this very long list? There was Tyler Perry, but after abusing his team, he no longer wants to associate with them. Who else? We have Ellen and Portia. Maybe Ellen and Portia are still using them for their own selfish purposes, who knows? But we also have the Obamas, who they tried to befriend. Obviously the Obamas want nothing to do with them. They tried to be friends. Well, Meghan was supposed to be friends with Serena Williams, but we didn't hear anything about it. Either way, it really looks like they're moving down the Hollywood celebrity list. And they check them off one by one, trying their best to be their friend and getting rejected every time. And now, thanks to reporting from the National Enquirer, it looks like we can officially add the Clooneys to that list. As you may remember, Meghan decided to invite George and Amal Clooney to their wedding in 2018. At the time, we knew they didn't even know them. Apparently someone asked George Clooney if he knew Meghan and he said no. Apparently at the wedding someone asked George, "How do you know Meghan?" And he just said, "I don't." So even then he wouldn't have lied and claimed to know the Duchess of Duplicity just because he and Amal went to their wedding. And as for why he and Amal attended the wedding, well, I mean, it's a pretty simple explanation. Between the two of them, there's a good chance, in fact, that George will, at some point, go into politics. It's been a rumor for a long time. And it makes sense that George and Amal would want to get along with the royal family. Now, at the time of Harry and Meghan's wedding, obviously, we didn't know what was going to happen. We haven't seen Mexico Ming, or maybe some people have, but still, at the time we thought they were going to be kings. So, essentially, when George and Amal accepted Harry and Meghan's wedding invitation, they were networking. This is something they do very, very well, and since Megxit happened, since Meghan and Harry have been at odds with the royal family, George and Amal have made it clear who they side with. For example, they supported the King's Prince's Trust Awards in May. And it's been a long time since we've heard of them doing anything with this creepy couple. Now I think Amal showed up to Meghan's baby shower pretending to bring Ark official. But that was almost 5 years ago, and now we have this great article in the Enquirer saying that Clooney is terrible at Harry and Meghan. So the story goes, royal outcasts Prince Harry and Meghan are humiliated and enraged after being contemptuously snubbed by their former friends George and Amal Clooney and losing the A-list star at the gala, sources say. Well, I don't know if they were ever friends, but I think Harry and Meghan are angry. I imagine the plates are flying at La Casa Montecito right now. And even though Harry and Meghan were in New York recently, well, they weren't invited to Clooney's party. We then learn that Harry and Meghan were forced to watch from 3,000 miles away as George and Amal reigned supreme at the Albee Awards in New York, hosted by the Clooney Foundation for Justice. So even though Harry and Meghan try to be that, thank you for watching. I mean, after all, the only thing stopping these two from devoting all their time and money to charitable causes is that the invitations just aren't coming their way. If they aren't invited to something, how are they going to promise anything? I mean, if no one knows about the charitable work they're doing, if no one knows about the donations, then what's the point of doing anything? Because, you see, we have to remember that for Harry and Meghan, charity is all about sweet, sweet PR. This has nothing to do with helping people. George and Amal, on the other hand, no, I think they're really trying to help people, and that's a good reason why they stay far, far away from the toxic couple. However, we also learned that many famous artists were invited to George and Amal's event. Harry and Meghan, not so much. And then, according to a reliable source, of all the indignities they've faced since arriving in Hollywood, this one is probably the most painful. George and Amal went from being wedding guests and trusted confidants to being completely ghosted. This is a huge kick in the teeth and a huge embarrassment that they can't really explain or understand. Really? They can't explain it? Can't they understand it? Are these too serious? I know they're not the brightest pencils in the box, but surely even they can see that it's their obnoxious behavior that scares people away. Do they really not understand that the cause of all their misfortunes is their bad behavior? That with every truth bomb they drop, they lose more friends? And come on, how can George and Amal be trusted confidants when they got married George said he didn't even know them? What? Are these their trusted confidants? But I guess for a few superficial people like them, who don't understand what true friendship is, at least it's true for me, and I think Harry had friends, but not anymore. But for someone like her, I guess I do. Someone agreeing to show up at your wedding means they are a trusted confidant because they don't know the true meaning of the term. I love this insider they quote in the article, because he then says, "The truth is, George and Amal have no time for drama or fakeness from Meghan and Harry." Well, obviously that's not the case. The gala would have been a dream event for both of them, but George and Amal knew very well that the circus that followed them would ruin the evening for others. Well, of course, because wherever they go, they're sure to bring plenty of drama with them. I mean, it's New York after all. Remember, they are both not safe in New York. They could once again find themselves caught in a near-disastrous car chase with paparazzi. But the insider goes on to say that it's confusing to the Sussexes because they've never done anything to justify it. Okay, so let me get this straight. Even after all the lies they told, even after the way they completely destroyed Harry's family and Meghan's family, even after making up a whole story to try to gain sympathy for a near-catastrophic car chase in New York, they continue, I don't understand why people don't want to associate with them. But that's exactly what this source is trying to say. As far as they can tell, the source reports, the news is completely inappropriate. George and Amal were at their wedding. Harry and Meghan considered them true friends and part of their inner circle. Guys, just because they came to your wedding for networking purposes doesn't mean they've ever been part of your inner circle. I mean, they pretended they didn't even know you when they came to the wedding. So how do you assimilate the members of your entourage? Man, your entourage must be pretty big. Harry and Meghan should understand that just because they desperately wanted to be friends with Amal and George doesn't mean Amal and George felt the same way. This article also claims that Harry and Meghan almost chose the 12 Oceans hunk as one of Archie's godfathers. Okay, first of all, why does Archie need more than one godfather? Second, why would you choose someone who doesn't even know you to be your child's godfather? I mean, that won't make him want to be your friend. Do you know it's true? But of course they don't know that because they both live in a fantasy world. I mean, how delusional can two people be? And I understand it's a little different for Harry. Because as a member of the royal family, he had no problem making friends with these powerful people like George and Amal. As a member of the royal family, yes, a listener wanted to be his friend. Meghan, however, does not. She was always a desperate seeker. She has always tried to climb the social ladder and befriend powerful people who want nothing to do with her. This is one of his projects. For Harry, he may be really surprised, but it shouldn't be a surprise for Meghan Markle. And at this point, I think Meghan should really stop trying to call people, because the insider claims he can't even get her to answer the phone now. They called, texted and even sent gifts. Oh, like banana bread? But they were totally blamed. At this point, they've given up trying, but that doesn't make the situation any less painful. Well, I hope they actually stop trying, and I hope they consider giving up trying in many other aspects of their lives as well. What do you think of GRUESOME TWOSOME and their attempt to become Hollywood stars? Please let me know your thoughts below in the comments section. I encourage you to like and share this video with anyone who might enjoy it, and before you go, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a new video. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll be back soon with future videos.